All right, what's up? I'm just going to show you the very first things that you need to do when you open a session in Pro Tools. Uh, so, very first thing you need to do, press W on your keyboard because you want to make sure that the playhead is at the start of the session before you make any changes. When I say the playhead, I'm just referring to this vertical line. All right, so press W. Now, next thing you need to set the tempo. So I'm going to come up here. I think this whole section here is called the transport. And I think your transport is down in the lower left corner. Mine is up here, but it's the same idea. So this is the beats per minute. I'm going to click on that. And I already know that I want this song to be 140 beats per minute. So I'm just going to type in 140, press enter. Okay. And it changed the whole song, however long it may end up being, to 140 BPM. All right, press W again, very important. And I'm going to start 4 tracks. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so 4 tracks. For me, it is Command T. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to drag these down to expose my inputs. Okay. And my interface only has 2 inputs, but you can imagine, all right? So then that would be 3, that would be 4. I'm going to press record on all of these. And you want to press input monitoring to on. If that is not on, you won't be able to hear yourself before you press record, and I believe it also won't register in these meters here. It will record audio, but there's really no point in having that off, so you want that to set to on. Next thing you need to do is set the tempo, or excuse me, the metronome. I'll just show you that again real quick. Okay, this tool right there, that's the metronome. And I'm gonna right click on that, and that'll open up some options. Here I can turn up, sort of like the accent beat of the metronome and the whatever, like the downbeats, whatever you call them. So for you, you want to hear these through headphones, so you probably want those pretty loud. Set those to the levels you want. Okay, close that. You want to make sure that you're in grid mode. All right. So this is the grid. These lines here. These represent your measures. So you can't really see it, but there is a line just to the left of my cursor here. That would be measure 1, beat 1. Okay, so this is 2, 3, 4, 2. This is the start of the second measure. 2, 3, 4, 3. And every time it hits one of these bold lines, that will be your accent beat in the metronome. So like, be like this, be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, etc. So you want to make sure you're in grid mode, which I am. You can see when I click, the playhead doesn't click exactly where the cursor is. That is what you want, okay? And to be sure that you're in grid mode, for me, it is Option S. Okay, Option S toggles grid mode on and off. Okay, see, now I am not in grid mode. So if you click within a measure and it does not highlight on one of these lines, you are not in grid mode. Okay, you do not want that. So again, I'm going to toggle that back on, Option S. I don't know the PC equivalent of that, but I would imagine it's very similar. Okay, so see, now I'm back in grid mode. And that's it. So again, press W. Back at the beginning of the session, I'm ready to record. So click up here to record. And I can hear the metronome because I have headphones, but you probably can't hear it. All right. Now, let's just say that you want to delete a section of your drum track. All right, again, you click there, press S, click here, delete. You can also delete a whole section of all of these tracks all at once. And to do that, highlight one of them, okay? And I'm going to hold Shift and then just click the bottom one. So like I have this one highlighted, all right? Hold Shift, I'm trying to do this one-handed. So bear with me, hold Shift, click the bottom one, and there you go. Now they're all highlighted. And I can make a cut by pressing S, just S, not Option S or Command S or anything like that. And then again, I can delete this whole section, hold Shift, and delete. But really, I would kind of more worry about me deleting stuff that needs to be deleted, because if you delete, like say this is a snare track and there is kick drum bleeding into it, and you want and say that the snare starts about, you know, after this point, okay, you can make a cut there and you can delete this. But now the problem is, when I import these tracks into Reaper, it's going to put this snare track right there. So all of the snare hits after that are going to be, actually from the start of the song and on, are going to be, they're going to be off. And it's not that big a deal for me to just move it back to where it needs to be, right? But it just saves me a little bit of work if you don't do that. If you ever delete something and you delete part of something and you want to bring it back, you move the cursor to the edge of the track, and you just click drag back to the point where you want it to start. So those are some basics. Hope that helps. And if you have any questions, whatever, you will let me know. So thanks for being a guy, I guess. Whatever. Peace.